This is Luzerne County Community College High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter.
Welcome to the pizza capital of the world. We're in Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's a Lackawanna League matchup. It's the last regular season game in Division II, and boy, does it mean a lot. It's Dunmore and Old Forge. Pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined courtside here at Old Forge by Mr. Basketball himself, Mr. Douglas Walsh. And Doug, we're going to take a look at the Division II standings, and it's pretty easy to see.
Yeah.
Dunmore wins, there'll be a playoff. Riverside could beat Western Wayne tonight. They'll tie, but it all comes down. But Dunmore first has to beat Old Forge.
Well, Old Forge can play a little loose. They have nothing to lose. Ironically, Riverside, the cross-town rival, is going to be rooting like crazy for the Blue Devils tonight.
Absolutely. So let's talk about this Bucks best team since 2010. They're having a historic season, and they have four guys that really can score at any time. We're only going to talk about one of them, and he's our Luzerne County Community College spotlight player, Braden Canavan.
Yeah, Braden Canavan, what can you say about him? He's senior leadership. He sees the floor. He rebounds well. He's athletic. He pushes the ball. He's their leader, and he shoots the three. He's a handful. Old Forge has to know where he is.
Second time seeing the Blue Devils this season, but they don't have that signature win within the division. They would love to upset Dunmore here tonight, and I think their big guy in the middle, he's our other Luzerne County Community College spotlight player, Logan Fanning, has to have a big game.
Yeah, you're right. He's gotten so much better. His footwork has gotten better. He's probably the biggest player in the post in the whole district, and he might be the best post player, Bob. He knows when to kick it out. He's doing a good job finding his teammates on the perimeter when they double down on him. They're going to have to get every possession is going to have to go through Logan Fanning tonight.
Absolutely. So let's now check in with our giant floor keys to the game. First, for the visitors from Dunmore.
Well, if you're Dunmore, you got to adjust to this environment. They've won at Holy Cross. They've won at Riverside. This is a little different animal, and they got to control the glass. If they can control the glass, they can get out in transitions, which is what they like to do. And if you're Old Forge, you can't let them get in transition by turning the ball over. They have to control their turnovers, and then offensively, they want to be deliberate on the offensive end, go through Fanning, take some time off the clock, but then convert after they do that.
Well, Old Forge is motivated. Why? It's this last second shot by Dunmore's Braden Canavan that the Bucks beat Old Forge. It was the #1 play on SportsCenter that night. Could we repeat the feat? We'll find out. It should be a good one here. It's Dunmore and Old Forge next. Now it's time to check out the prom excitement starters for the Dunmore Bucks coming in 18-2. Be Canavan, Slow, Aviles, Clark, and Jacob Costanzo in the middle, rounding up your prom excitement starters for Dunmore. For the home team from Old Forge, one change: Ryan DeMarco got injured against Mid-Valley. He will not start. So it'll be Parker, Krasnowski, Askew in for DeMarco, Fanning, and Salerno. Referees tonight from the Lackawanna League: Jack Gaffney, Robert Craig, Tim Levesque. bell. A very experienced crew here. We're all set in the packed gymnasium. Al Semenza Court getting ready for this big game, the last regular season game in Division II for both teams. What should we look for, Doug, early on?
Well, if you're Old Forge, you got to establish fanning as early and as often as you possibly can. And if you're Dunmore, you don't want to make this a track meet. You want to get it up around 70, 75 points.
69-66 was the final at Dunmore. What will happen here tonight? Canavan has the ball. Out to Slode. Slode downtown, in and out. They can hit the threes. Dunmore, they have 183 on the year, Doug, which is a lot. Old Forge has 125.
So Old Forge start that possession. They want to play a little zone, daring them to shoot it. And you see right off the bat, they're going down to the block.
Looks like a 2-3 zone.
They're going to match them up. Yeah, they're going to chase people. See, now every time somebody comes up high, Fanning will come up high. Zone gave Dunmore a little bit of trouble the other day. Holmesdale played them zone the other night, gave them a little trouble.
Canavan baseline. Missed it. Back is Krasnowski. Gives it over to Fanning. Fanning doesn't really shoot the threes. So it's Parker out front, another all-star. Parker. Good job by Clark on defense. They get it to the bigger Fanning, and he's got all 4 points, and that's one way to establish him.
Now, if he doesn't get into foul trouble, he can have a big night in here, and Dunmore doesn't have an answer for him down low.
Nate Aviles, a senior, averages 12.5 points. His team, over 74 points per game, so a very good offensive team. Old Forge giving up 46 per game.
Dunmore has scored 90 a couple times, 80, 4, 5, 6 times, 70s, 9 times. So
great cut, Doug, by Aviles.
They can fill it up. Yeah.
Full court pressure. Parker gets it over the line. 2-point lead. Parker to the hole.
Dunmore pressures three-quarter court and then a half-court trap. They want Old Forge to shoot early in the possession, which they've done so far 3 times. And as we said in the opening, if you can make your baskets when you're playing deliberate basketball, that's going to be trouble for Dunmore.
Aviles gets it inside. Back out to Slode. The lefty got it. Carter Slode, 74 threes on the season.
Well, they can shoot it. Canavan, Clark, and Slode.
And they can get streaky, too.
Yeah.
Krasnowski trying to match that. Had it in. Had it bounce out. Slode up quickly. Clark downtown. Jimmy Clark for 3.
The thing about the three-point shooting teams, Bob, is you're never out of it, because if you just get hot for a little bit, you can get right back into ball games. Now, sometimes it can shoot you out of games, but it can also get you back into games.
Hoop and the harm. That's Nick Salerno who put it in.
Old Forge going right at Dunmore, playing the same pace that Dunmore wants, and said, well, you want to play fast? We can play fast, too.
With DeMarco out, do you figure the other 3 guys have to really step it up tonight?
Well, you're going to see more scoring definitely out of Fanning, and Parker's going to have to get hot, too, but the other guys are going to have to chip in. Yeah, the supporting cast.
Old Forge in the white with the blue and gold trim, laying man-to-man. Crimson for Dunmore. Aviles, little step, gets it over Fanning.
Very good job by Aviles. Was patient on the offensive end. Good footwork.
Out to Salerno, the senior. Guarded against Jimmy Clark out top.
And notice Nate Aviles guarding Cameron Parker. Aviles is a really solid on-the-ball defender, as you'll see.
Cross court to Salerno. Looking inside. Costanzo has Fanning. They also put a double team out front. Downtown, Krasnowski. Back of the rim. Fight for it. Salerno saves it. To Krasnowski. In and out.
Boy, great job by Salerno to keep that alive and get an extra possession. They just couldn't convert.
They are not afraid to shoot the threes.
Well, you notice Clark's made one already. There's one by Aviles. Slode's made one, and Cameron hasn't got a chance yet, but he'll shoot them too.
3-3 so far. Fanning down the lane. Get it. So he has 6. Aviles has 7. Don't need a shot clock here tonight.
I was just thinking that, Bob. I was going to say the shot clock is coming in a couple years, but there's not going to be any shot clock violations today in this one.
No. Back out to Salerno. 60 points on the season. Askew in the game and makes them count.
Well, that was the dilemma that Coach J.J. Thomas had. Did we put a guard in to sub for DeMarco, or did we put a three-point shooter in Askew? And they put Askew in, and you see it's paid dividends already.
Already 3 lead changes in the first quarter. Back out to Canavan. He'll shoot it way out there, in and out. He is not afraid to shoot. We know that. 39 threes on the year.
Well, that was on the words Al Semenza court there. That was pretty deep.
Canavan scored his 1,000th the other night. We'll talk more about him. This is Cam Parker. Scoreless. He only has 2 so far, but he's guarded by Aviles. That'll be our marquee matchup. We'll take a look at that our next time out.
Well, what I do like about it is he's patient. He's biding his time. Sooner or later, he'll get hot.
Askew in and out. We haven't had a whistle. Next whistle will be our timeout. Already a running clock. Aviles caught off. Jimmy Clark in the corner. Maybe partially blocked. Up and down we go.
You notice when Dunmore comes down, they all spot up on the arc.
Fight for it. Still no whistle. Just one foul in this corner. Really just only one whistle. So Mark Finan, third-year coach. Excuse me, second season, but he's been around a long time, Mark has.
Yeah, he's been around for decades.
Jimmy Clark, back of the rim. Then tied at 13 for a little bit right now. They're going to slow it down.
You know, you talk about no whistles, Bob. When both teams are shooting a lot of jumpers, you're not going to get to the foul line because you're not driving it.
Well, next whistle will be the media timeout if we get to it. And still didn't get to it. Inside the Fanning. And there it is. And he hooped in the harm. And he'll try to finish the three-point play after the break. Oak Forge takes a 2-point lead. 1:40 left in the first. We'll take a timeout, and then we'll be right back with our marquee matchup.
You're watching Luzerne County Community College High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
Tonight's Lighthouse Harbor Marina's marquee matchup features 2 seniors with lots of experience. Dunmore's Nate Aviles has scored over 260 points on the year thus far. He can run the point. He rebounds well for his size. Maybe the best on-ball defender in the Lackawanna League, which is why he'll be asked to defend the other half of our matchup in Cameron Parker. Maybe Old Forge's most consistent and reliable player. He's scored double figures in every game almost. Makes him Old Forge's leading scorer. He's got a nice pull-up mid-range jumper. He's made 32 threes on the year, and he gets himself to the foul line where he shoots a solid 76%. Nate Aviles, Cameron Parker, tonight's Lighthouse Harbor Marina's marquee matchup to watch.
Yeah, they've been matched up pretty well. Fanning, while Doug was talking about our marquee matchup, missed his free throw, so he has 8. Old Forge is up 2. Already 3 lead changes just in that first quarter alone.
Well, this is a one-possession game last time, so this is going to go down to the wire. 2 evenly matched clubs, Bob. The only difference is Fanning probably has the advantage inside, but Dunmore has the advantage on the perimeter.
So there was substitution for Old Forge. Aiden Aversa played almost the whole JV game, and now he's in the varsity game as Fanning gets blocked from behind. He's number 14, just a sophomore.
Well, he was very impressive in the JV game, I will say that. He sees the floor well, he handles the ball well, and he's got some time already this year, so he's got a little bit of experience.
Ball out of bounds, under a minute to play here in a very fast-moving first quarter here at Old Forge. Glad he could join us last regular season game. A lot on the line for both of these teams, and we have a foul.
Parker was patient with the ball. Aviles did a good job keeping him away from the basket. Parker was determined to get that shot up, and Aviles picked up the foul.
So 3 team fouls. That's Aviles' first. So Cam Parker goes to the line. 75% on the year. Hits the first.
Well, he's smooth in the foul line, Bob. I had a chance to coach his father, Kyle, and he used to call his father Silk because he was smooth. And that first one looked pretty smooth there by Cameron.
It did. He had 25 against Wyoming area and 23 against Holy Cross. Now, Old Forge did lose to Holy Cross a few games ago. A Holy Cross team that's getting much better as the playoffs lure.
Well, they're getting back full strength. They're healthy now.
Of course, then Dunmore beat them that Monday pretty handily. So Mark Finan going to say, let's slow it down. Let's get the last shot off. So we'll tell you, Dunmore beat Honesdale the other night 72-59. They beat Holy Cross 88-61 before that. Their 2 losses on the year, Prep in the line it, and then Riverside. Great defense, Cam Parker.
Yeah, they were trying to drive it and get the spotter up on the perimeter, but good defense by Old Forge, and they still got 7 now to score.
Up 4. They took a 4-0 lead to begin, but Dunmore battled back. Cam Parker, downtown at the buzzer, can't get it to go, and that's the way the first quarter will end in this Division II matchup in the Lackawanna League. An exciting quarter number 2 is coming up.
You're watching Luzerne County Community College High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
Hold up. Dr. Todd Smile Cam checking in on the Old Forge student section, and I think we got some guys that want our jobs down below. Trying to do some play-by-play, and if they're calling a game like we are, they're watching a pretty good one here at Alsa Men's Court. 9-0 run for the Blue Devils to end that first quarter.
Old Forge could play a little looser. They don't have anything to lose in this one. Certainly Dunmore has everything in the world to lose.
Tied up, good defense by Krasnowski on Aviles. Yeah, a lot of pressure on Dunmore. They know they have to win tonight just to force that playoff on Friday.
Yeah, give it a swing. That's good defense there by Dunmore. And in transition, good D, holding his ground. There was Krasnowski.
Parker up. Again, Old Forge kind of looking for that signature win. They've been up inconsistent, I think I'd call them a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This could be the one they're looking for.
Yeah, Versa, the sophomore, got called for a travel. He's definitely warmed up, playing most of that JV game, as I mentioned.
You know, too, Old Forge had the ball with the score tied at Dunmore, and then the Canavan Heroics got them, but they were in the game all the way to the end up there.
They absolutely were, and I think they believe they should have won that game because it was going to overtime.
Yeah.
Canavan caught in between. In the corner, Aviles, the leading scorer so far here tonight. No good. Believe it or not, Canavan is scoreless. So good defense by Old Forge on Braden Canavan, the 1,000-point scorer.
Yeah, well, the thing about these guys at Dunmore, too, is they're good at letting the game come to them. They don't want to force anything. If it's there, you take it. If not, you find your teammates. And thus far, they're doing that.
Luke Franek into the game.
He's in there to help Costanzo with the big fella inside Fanning.
Well, he sits Canavan. He's scoreless. One of their leading scorers. Maybe just to take a break and just relax a little bit, right?
Well, you know this environment, every time he touches it, they're going to get all over him after the heroics last time.
Yep. Fanning calling for the ball up top. He is probably the dominant, as you said, inside player in this division, maybe in the league. And they have to use him a little more.
Well, Jacob Costanzo's got one job, and that's to make it difficult for him to get the ball. And so far, he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Trying to get a double on him, but Fanning kind of fakes it out. So Fanning into double figures.
Because if he gets the ball, he's almost impossible to stop, especially if he gets it down that low. Back to zone now for Old Forge.
Okay, Dunmore is going to be patient. Now, they have not won a district title since 1995-96. And our guy, Kevin Walsh, who was part of that team.
Oh, yeah. That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. That's the last district title for this team. And they haven't made the state playoffs since 2010. So, a lot on the line, and they're aware of this, Dunmore.
Yeah, they feel they have a chance to make the states this year.
Jimmy Clark off the mark. Dunmore's going cold. They haven't scored in a long time since that first quarter. It's a big run so far.
Well, if you're Dunmore, though, you haven't scored, you're right. But it's only a 6-point game, and they've gone 5 minutes without scoring. So,
Fanning blocked from behind. No good. Good defense by Castano. Askew has one out there ready. Oh, that was in. That came right out.
That was halfway down.
Jimmy Clark. Pump fake to the glass. No good. Fanning pulls it down.
Well, the shots aren't falling for Dunmore, but they're going to play the same way no matter if they're up 6 or down 6. So it's only a matter of time, they feel, that they can get hot, get a run going.
Inside of Fanning. Let him play a little bit. Costanzo muscling him up.
Oh, good job by Costanzo. Forced the difficult entry pass and then forced the difficult shot.
Aviles, pump fake. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. He's been really aggressive here tonight. Has 7 points already.
You see the replay there, the continuation. Yeah, that's a foul. He's got to call that.
So Aviles scored 23 twice this year. In the second game with Holy Cross and against Western Wayne. So again, any one of these 4 starters can score at any time. Canavan into the game, along with Lorenzo Leo. Costanzo and Franek back out.
Costanzo expending a lot of energy trying to defend down low. He's kind of tired. He needs a rest. Now, Bob, sometimes a foul shot or 2 can get you off the schneid to get a little run going for Dunmore. They may pick up full court here, too.
That's their first points since about the 2-minute mark of that first quarter. Parker outside the Fanning. Fanning looking. Krasnowski, no good. Canavan back into the game. See if they pick up the pace. Avila's right to the glass against Fanning, and a lay it up and in.
Oh, Fanning, kind of a little resistance. Doesn't want to get in foul trouble.
30-second timeout.
Mark Finan wants a foul on that shot.
Yeah.
He's talking to Tim Lavelle. Timeout, 30-second timeout for Dunmore, and he wanted all body on that.
Yeah, you see Aviles made the contact. He leaned into him, and Coach Finan is what he's talking about now is he wants to get the next call. He probably doesn't really think that was a foul either, but he's jockeying for the next whistle.
Well, as we said, Dunmore's last regular season game, if they win, they go to the playoffs. Old Forge has a rescheduled game Friday with Mountain View here for senior night, which doesn't count really in the division. Old Forge has already wrapped up the top seed District 2 two-way, the defending champs.
Well, you know, they feel that they got a club that can go deep into the states. You know, don't forget they made it to the Final Eight last year, losing to Linville, and Linville ended up winning it all, and that was a pretty close game.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
They feel they got the tools, and they got a senior-laden team, too, with a lot of experience. They think they can go deep into the playoffs, and they may.
Get off the press. Good defense. Good hands by Sloan. Boy, he's a real nice junior. 6'1".
Now, these guys they all anticipate well on Dunmore at both ends of the floor.
Canavan doesn't score, but he's going to pull out the assist right to Leo.
Doing what he has to do. Knows that he might not be struggling a little bit can't score a little bit from the outside, but he's going to set up his teammates, doing whatever he needs to do to get a win.
Parker gets his own rebound. He lays it in. Up before that, it was a 6-0 run by Dunmore. After those foul shots, so Parker has 6, and Old Forge takes back the lead. They led by as many as 6 in this first half. Dunmore's battle back. We'll see that most tonight. Jimmy Clark wide open. He's not going to miss.
Well, the thing about Dunmore, too, and you saw it there, they always have good spacing on the offensive end. They're wide, making the defense cover a lot of ground.
Dunmore takes their first lead since it was 15-13, so they battle right back with the 1-point advantage. Next time out will be media. Parker. Downtown got it. Cam Parker feeling it.
Well, not surprising, but a lot of threes being shot by both clubs. But, you know, Dunmore normally is going to shoot them, but Old Forge taking their share, saying, look, we can shoot it too.
Very deliberate. Canavan, first step is really tough to Leo. Pump fake. No good. Canavan on the other side. Putting the garbage in. That's one way to get your first points. We're tied again.
And you see Fanning tried to go for that block. Leo with good patience.
Slowed. Numbers. Vilas. Down. Other side. Whistle. Timeout on the floor. Vilas will go to the line when we come back. 2:38 remaining in a very entertaining, fast-paced first half. We're tied at 24. No matter your goals, the LCC Scranton Center is here for you. From high school dual enrollment to associate's degrees and transfer programs, our staff will guide you every step of the way. Conveniently located in the marketplace at Steamtown. Begin today at luzerne.edu. Bye-bye, Doug Walsh, courtside. 6 lead changes in this game. Nate Vilas will go to the line to give Dunmore back the lead here with 2:38 in the first half. He's the leading scorer coming in. He's 2 for 2 on the night from the free throw line. And I jinxed him.
Now, should he make the second, you'll see some three-quarter court contained by Dunmore, not trapping out of it. Now, sometimes they will fall back into a half-court trap. We'll see what they decide to do should Havilas make this one.
Makes the second. He's the leading scorer with 12. And again, the Bucks take back the lead by 1.
Yeah, just a little bit of a contain, and then they'll fall back into their half-court defense.
Salerno and Askew back into the game for the Blue Devils in the white home here at the Al Semenza court.
A little bit of a zone here now by Dunmore.
See if they try to get it to Fanning, getting physical out there.
They were trying to. Old Forge was getting a lot of good looks on the perimeter.
Cross court in the corner. Askew, count it. Getting the start tonight and contributing. He has 6.
Oh, he's there for one reason, to spot up and try to find a good look at a 3.
Slowed from NBA range. Carter slowed.
They can shoot it from everywhere.
He has 6, both threes. And this is what Al Canavan even contributing yet. Outside, Leo, nice box out, and then didn't get the ball. Hit it last, so will be Old Forge ball underneath.
And the Dunmore faithful thought Fanning went over the back.
Franek back into the game. So Leo and Franek both in the game. Parker, nice move on the outside. Puts it up.
Now, Aviles had to go challenge him because Parker looked like he was going to shoot that 3, and a pump fake got him to go by him.
He has 9. Aviles again.
Aviles being pretty aggressive on the offensive end, looking to score today.
14 in the first half of the 30 points for Dunmore. High scoring first half. Knocked away.
Aviles got his hand in there and stole that one.
Slowed in the corner. Clark, little mid-range jumper, got a nice roll.
Boy, Slowed wanted to shoot that 3, but good defense by Old Forge running at him, but he found the open man in Clark.
In the Fanning double team, knocked out of bounds, 35 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, you see Aviles all over the court at both ends of the floor. He hustled down and knocked that ball out of bounds.
Dean Carter Chevy halftime reports on the way. We'll have a feature segment from Luzerne County Community College, and then Doug and I will have some district standings, talk about playoffs, and stats and highlights from this first half. Looks like Old Forge wants to slow it down a little bit. Costanzo back into the game. Fanning started out really hot, but it's kind of gone a little cold. We have a foul underneath on Costanzo. Just the team's second.
Yeah, you don't mind that because he had him on his hip. Costanzo was doing a good job bumping him out, bumping him out, bumping him out. And that's his second. So now you do have a couple more to give if you want to, if you're Dunmore.
Leo back into the game, in the Fanning. Has Leo. Almost triple teamed and boxes his way underneath. Oh, a late whistle and a foul.
Well, you see what they want to do, Bob. Every time they take the ball out of bounds, he just puts his hand up just like that. Throw it high. I'll go get it. You see 2 or 3 guys coming at him, but he was strong enough to go through it and finish through contact.
Fanning 0 for 1 on the line. Just a 59% foul shooter coming in.
Now on the flip side, if you're Old Forge, you got a couple fouls to give here if you so choose to.
Tied again. Aviles, he's fouled by Fanning up front. That's the team's third, and Fanning's first, so he's not in foul trouble. 4.9 remaining, so you have a couple more fouls to give if you're Old Forge.
Well, if you're Fanning, you make sure you don't commit another one now in the last 5 seconds. You'd hate to go to the halftime down with 2 fouls in the last 10 seconds.
Aviles fouled out front. Are they going to say shooting or not? I think it's before. Yep, non-shooting on Krasnowski. 2.5 seconds, but you know, we've seen Dunmore make second shots before with no time.
It might go into Canavan's hands right now. And look at it, kind of leaving them open here a little bit.
Don't put Canavan at half court. Knocked away by Askew. If I'm Canavan, I'm going to half court and then try to hit it again. There he goes.
He heard you,
yeah. Aviles, and that's the way it will end. It's fitting in a very competitive Lackawanna League Division I game that we will be tied at 32 going into the break. Coming up next, it's the Dean Carter Shetty Halftime Show.
You're watching Luzerne County Community College High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
In the downtown Scranton area, there are several options for choice in college. Having a community college in the area is an extremely important resource for students. Just having accessibility to the options to take classes at a reduced rate, and be at a more convenient location closer to their homes. Obviously, accessibility in the way of where we're at in the downtown location, inside that marketplace at Steamtown Mall up on that second floor. The students can take advantage of our business administration program. We also have business management. Students here are also taking advantage of the psychology. With a combination of in-person and online curriculum, they can complete those degrees. We are also starting an early childhood education curriculum here this semester. We'll have an evening class for early childhood, introduction to early childhood education. You know, we try and remove those barriers that might keep a student from success in their educational journey, and something like the food pantry or even student tutoring, our writing center, which is an in-person resource for students here. They are here to help students with those things that come up for them. We are offering an ESL curriculum here at the Scranton Center for any student who needs to bring their ESL language up to proficiency to be able to do college level work. This program is for you. Our students can come in and take their ESL courses here in the late evening and then continue on for pursuing any kind of college degree that they're interested in. Now is an excellent time because we offer the opportunity for open enrollment at LCC. And a student who is just making that decision now can easily apply to the college, get that placement testing done, come in and get a full schedule of classes to start the fall semester September 2nd here at the Scranton Center.
Well, that's one guy that really knows how to make an entrance. Mr. Devil Dog himself in attendance here in Old Forge. We are tied at 32, Bob and Doug. And this is the game we thought it'd be, Division II. It came down to a last-second shot. Last time, it looks like it might be coming down to that again.
Yeah, two evenly matched clubs. Both teams doing what they need to do. They want to play their style, and both teams are playing their style, and they're being pretty successful at it. Yeah, as you said, this is probably going to go right down to the wire.
5 ties in this game, 6 lead changes back and forth, and as expected, on Old Forge, it's Fanning and Cam Parker leading the way.
Yeah, 24 of their 32. Old Forge doing exactly what they need to do. They're featuring Fanning down low. Parker's picking his spots. Aviles is doing a pretty good job defending him, but he's picking his spots to score, and he made a couple from the foul line. But good game plan by Old Forge. Feature the big fella down low. And the thing with Dunmore is they went 5 minutes without scoring there, and they're tied. You know, when you shoot threes as much as they do, you shoot to get hot, you shoot to stay hot, they can score in bunches. They got to be careful of a run by Dunmore. Old Forge does.
If you're the Bucks, are you worried that Canavan has only had 2 points, or you say he only has 2 points? If he gets hot in that second half, we feel pretty good.
Well, they're good at letting the game come to them, and they're all confident. They all have faith in each other. So you can go some nights with only scoring 6-7 points, and the rest of the guys are going to pick you up. I don't think they have a problem with that. Now, you may see him be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end in the second half, maybe driving the ball to the basket a little more, but they don't care who scores as long as they come out on top.
Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights, and as I mentioned, it's been a back and forth game, up and down. Fanning leading the way with 13 for the Blue Devils.
Well, you see that every time he gets the ball, there's a lot of red shirts around him, but he's so strong. He's got good footwork, and the jumpers, everybody's shooting jumpers on both teams. You see Clark, you see Slode. Anybody can shoot it for Dunmore. There's Aviles getting in the act too. And then on the other side, Askew, that's what he's there for. You know, they had a choice. Do we put a guard in because DeMarco's out, or do we put the shooter in? And they went with the shooter, and he's made a couple threes, Askew. Picking their spots to.
Yeah. So here's the 3A standings, and again, it's Dunmore and Riverside right in there. Elk Lake from the up north a little bit in Division III of the Lackawanna League, unknown kind of.
Yeah, the big win the other night. They beat Susquehanna to take a 1-game lead, but both Susquehanna and Elk Lake still have backyard brawls to finish up. Susquehanna has to play Blue Ridge, and Elk Lake has to play Montrose, so that's not decided yet.
And the Holies right there, Cross and Redeemer, they both can surprise someone. They both can play well.
Yeah, Holy Cross's defense is a little bit suspect, but they can put up a lot of points, and they can score with anybody, so any given night they can knock you off.
Okay, Old Forge, we said, has wrapped up the top seed in 2A, and right behind them, again, Susquehanna and Trail Blue Ridge, you would think defending champs, overall favorites.
Yeah, they feel that with Fanning, none of those other teams have an answer for him, and then the rest of the supporting cast, they think, is a little bit stronger too, so it's Old Forge's to win or lose.
Next up, and again, we'll remind you, the playoffs start with quarterfinals next Tuesday after the playoffs in some of the leagues. So Dallas Prep, probably the 1 and 2 seed. Wyoming Area and Valley View, we'll see what happens tonight. Could Valley View overtake Wyoming Area if they can beat Scranton tonight? But again, Valley View ailing right now, has one of their better players on the bench and hurt. And again, watch out for the Hawkeyes of Hanover.
Yeah, you know, it's high school basketball. Anything can happen. You'd have to say Dallas with the home court has got to be the odds-on favorite, but anything can happen.
And then in 5A, I would think Abington's the favorite, playing some real good basketball. Crestwood plays Pittston. That could be an interesting matchup. They split their regular season matchups. Both teams won at their own home courts.
Yeah, they would love to see a rubber match. Crestwood and Pittston area would love to see that. That would be a hotly contested contest between Coach Atherton and Coach Semenza.
So we are back here, full house here at Al Semenza Court, here at Old Forge as expected. Dunmore looking for a win, possibly tie Riverside, and then get to the playoffs on Friday. Old Forge is trying to look for that signature win in Division II, and really I don't want to, you don't want to say it's revenge, but it's the way they lost last time at Dunmore. They're probably eating inside on.
Yeah, they're probably torn. They might not want to help Riverside out, but they certainly would like to repay Dunmore after that buzzer beater by Canavan up there in Bucktown.
Okay, it's been a game of runs. Both teams have had runs, and we are all set to go for the third quarter here between Dunmore in the crimson and white and Old Forge in the home whites with the blue and gold trim. Waiting for some fans to get through, clear the court, and we are all set. So Aviles, the leading scorer for Dunmore, will take this one down. He has 14 in the game. So Clark, Aviles, Costanzo, Slode, and Canavan, the same starters for Dunmore.
And there you see again the matchup zone by Old Forge to start the second half.
Canavan caught off slow to lefty and going to get a foul on Parker. He grabbed him going around the corner. So Cam Parker's first foul, team's first of the third quarter. Slow had 2 threes in that one. So he has 75 on the year. He has the most threes on the team. Gets the ball. The lefty trying to take Askew in the middle, and we're going to call it close here, I think, in the third quarter now, as Askew picks up a foul pretty quick.
Well, the first half there's a lot of jumpers, so there wasn't too many contact plays. Now 2 contact plays to start this third quarter.
Stanzo back outside. Canavan, think about it. Try a little jumper. He's off the mark. Parker, the rebound. Here comes the Blue Devils back. 14-6 on the year, 9-4 in Division II.
Dunmore straight man-to-man to start the second half.
Nice putt by Parker.
Good job curling off the screen by Fanning. Parker knows how to play.
And we have another lead change, as you might expect. Stanzo not really a threat to score, more there for rebounding and defense. Into Aviles. Canavan, I've seen him shoot out there before. He's not really looking for it.
Old Ford's kind of slowing the pace down, which is what they want to do.
Block from Fanning on Costanzo. Parker has it against Canavan. Working it around into the corner to Askew's got a couple of those, and he hits another one.
You got to know where he is if you're Dunmore. He's in there for that reason. He likes that corner jumper, and he's made a couple there already.
5-0 run to begin the third. 5-point lead for Old Forge. Trying to offset a 69-66 defeat in Dunmore on January 13th on Canavan's last second shot. Taken away. Salerno to the hole from behind. Nice job by Clark. But Parker's there, and we have a quick timeout for Dunmore. Mark Finan, I think he's forced into 7-0 run.
What a great start by Old Forge, coming out with like gangbusters in this third quarter. Good defense. They're running. They're picking their spots to run. Getting good shots.
Get it ready for prom. Make it a weekend to remember at Prom Excitement. From February 14th through the 16th, find your dream dress and take a shot at our balloon pop event. Buy your dress, pop a balloon, and you could win 25, 50, 75, or even 100% off your purchase. That's right, your dress could be absolutely free. Visit us at our new location, 1192 Highway 315 in Wilkes-Barre. Good start here in the second half, Doug, for the home team.
Yeah, the more they increase this lead, the more confidence they get. They have a quiet confidence about them, Old Forge does. That stems from the coaching staff.
Okay, how do you get Canavan into the game a little bit? Is he being a little passive?
Well, they want to try to get him to drive it, but the other guys have to. You can't worry about getting Canavan in the game. You got to try to find some other ways to score like that.
Like that would work, right? Carter slow downtown.
That allows them to get into pressure.
Fanning. Yep. Oh, going to be called for the charge. Good defense by Jimmy Clark. Draws the foul on Logan Fanning, his second.
They gave the ball to Fanning out around the foul line, and Clark knew he was coming hard. Fanning tried to back off a little bit, but you have to call that. You see, you give it to him out the foul line. He was going to go, and he tried to ease up, but that's a good call.
Well, J.J. Thomas is not happy about something. He's pacing up and down.
Well, I think he's a little upset that they gave him the ball in that position that far away from the basket.
So now Dunmore can cut into this Old Forge lead. Little motion offense, slowed, feeling it. Oh, and he is feeling it. Downtown corner slowed, taking the bus.
Well, you see the thing. There's no panic in Dunmore. They know they can score quickly, and they can score often.
Little 6-0 run now for the Bucks, within one.
You know, this is one of those games, Bob. Whoever has the longest run or whoever has the last run is going to come in on top.
Back of the rim from Parker. Good job. Back to Parker from Askew. Parker trying to get open. Gets a home roll.
I love his game. He can score in a lot of different ways.
Canavan. Good pump fake out front. Trying to hit Costanzo on the backside. And Mark Finan says, settle down. We're fine.
The crowd get a little bit on Canavan. You would expect that.
Yeah, there. Look at when you're the top play on Sports Center, people are going to remember. He was surprised at some of the attention. So Fanning backing down, using the backboard for two. His first field goal of the second half.
Yeah, you see how he's developed on the offensive end with that great footwork.
Oh, Slode almost tried to bank in a three.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he was trying to bank that one in, though.
Parker.
Yeah, he feels he can score any time, and boy, he sure is.
How about a 6-0 run now for Old Forge to go back up 6?
Stayed in the zone, Old Forge.
So you mentioned that it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
That's obvious already. I don't know who that favors.
Well, it normally would favor Dunmore, but Old Forge is so confident, they feel they can take it up into the 70s also.
Slowed guarding Parker. Junior on senior. Parker's going to pull up. No, got short. Here comes Canavan back the other way, trying to look, and Dunmore can't find anybody. Canavan pushes off and gets the offensive foul, and that will take us to our media timeout. 3:10 remaining. Both teams have had runs, but it's a 7-point lead for the home team. Dunmore Bucks student section here, rooting on their team. Happy that their girls won tonight, 62-21 over Honesdale. That's a makeup game from last night. But trying to get their team to come back and try to get into this Division II playoffs. 3:10 remaining in the third quarter. Each team's had a run. We were tied at 32 at the half.
Yeah, the people Old Forge, you're thrilled the way this is going. The game plan is there. They're executing it perfectly. Still got 11 minutes to go.
Old Forge outscored them 13-6.5. Fanning down low. Little pump fake.
Great patience. You got both defenders to commit.
9-point lead, largest lead of the night for either team. Well, Dunmore's got to dig deep. Jimmy Clark, front of the rim. Vilas, nice rebound against Fanning. Finds Canavan. Good defense out there by Salerno. Little spin move from Canavan, back of the rim. He is not feeling it. That's a tough one.
Yeah. He's having a forgettable night.
Kind of saw that count coming on Krasnowski. He's kind of egging him on. Usually get that call the other way. Jack Gaffney didn't see it that way. What do you think, Doug Walsh?
Well, Jimmy Clark was doing a real good job defensively. Yeah, a little embellishment, but, you know.
That's a senior for Dunmore.
Krasnowski didn't really need to create that contact.
Dunmore calls a full timeout with 2:11 here in the third. I guess that's how important this possession is for Mark Finan.
Yeah.
So here's what Dunmore has gone through this season. And again, 19-2 overall. Just a couple losses. They beat Riverside the first time. They lost to them the second time. And then, of course, they lost to Prep in the Lynott final. But other than that, it's been a perfect season. A best one in a long time.
Yeah, they put up 97 and 96 against Holmesdale and Holy Cross. They've been 88 3 or 4 times. 86 against Mount Carmel. 8 times they've been in the 70s. They've had some huge halves, and they're going to need to get it going in this second half down here at Old Forge if they want to keep their.
Again, this is their last
alive.
game. Sorry, this is their last game till the district start next Tuesday. So you have it all on the line. Again, they want to play Friday against Riverside for the division title, but right now, that's not going to happen. So after the full timeout by Mark Finan, here come the Bucks back.
Well, that timeout maybe talking to his guys. Let's pick up the intensity on the defensive end. Maybe they'll see them go full court man-to-man or a strong half-court man-to-man defense.
Whistle underneath. There should be 5 fouls, and shooting will be Dunmore.
Now, think about Old Forges. They're frustrating Dunmore a little bit. Dunmore referees need to call. They're going to call this a little tighter now because it's getting a little chippy, I'd say.
Yeah, slowed 86% on the year. He scored 32 against Mid Valley the second meeting. So, you know, he can put up the points. He has 13-14 now.
Now again, the three-quarter court, 2-2-1 by.
Old Forge in the second half has dominated Dunmore a little bit. They're up 7. Parker on the baseline. No good. Fanning fighting for it. Salerno, and a foul.
Right, great job by Fanning. He got his hand there, kept it alive, saved the possession, and now they get another one. Yeah, you see, Fanning keeps this. He knows he can't get it, but he gets his hand on it.
Salerno gets it, and was the foul there?
I think Aviles, maybe.
Yeah, it was on Aviles. His second, they throw it away.
Costanza with a great defense. Smart enough to bring it back out now.
Just slowed. He's hot. This calf can't get that one to go.
Well, great job by Jacob Costanza to get that possession. And if that's the way Dunmore plays, they want to shoot it quick. Again, out of the zone here by Dunmore. Again, designed to keep the ball away from Fanning and keep him away from the basket.
They bring Fanning up to the high post.
Now, if you're Dunmore, that's where you want him up there. You don't want him down on the block to operate.
Well, up 7, they can waste a little time and knock away from Jimmy Clark. Good defense. You have Clark and Aviles, 2 of the better defenders in the league, up top.
They're going to go a little 1-2. I thought they were changing the defense. Yeah, they changed it to 1-2-2. But the high post is going to be wide open here. If Fanning can operate from there, we'll see.
Under a minute to play in the third. Old Forge has surged ahead with a big third quarter, up 7.
They're content to maybe take this down as far as they can and get one shot. they'll take a good one if it presents itself, but they'll be happy to take this down and take the last shot.
Out to Parker. He is 17. Goes Parker. Fanning has 17 as well. Salerno outside. Guarded by Slode. Charge!
They're getting Cam Krasnowski. Yeah, if you're Old Forge now, you make sure you don't commit a foul here because Dunmore is going to be shooting.
But on the charge, you don't shoot.
Right.
But it is the fourth personal foul on a starter. So Aversa, the sophomore, back into the game. Aviles got it. Dunmore cutting the lead down to 5. And that's the way the third quarter will end. So it's a 15-10 quarter for Old Forge, but Dunmore has battled back to get within 5. Should be an exciting fourth quarter on the other side.
You're watching Luzerne.
Here now, our figure law firm Scholar Athletes, Amanda Dempsey from Dunmore. She is the 4-year class president on the Quiz Bowl team. Plays volleyball and, of course, basketball. She's a 3.84 average and plans to go study biochemistry and maybe medical school. Logan Fanning on the other side. He also plays soccer in Division III. He's the first-team All-Star there. He's an All-Star on the basketball court, 2-year captain of the Quiz Bowl team, and he also refs youth soccer. Amanda Dempsey, Logan Fanning, our figure law firm Scholar Athletes. Here we go, fourth quarter, bob-eyed. Doug Walsh courtside. Old Forge trying to pull off the upset, keep Dunmore from a championship matchup with Riverside on Friday. 5-point lead. Big test now for Dunmore.
Yep, staying in the zone.
Getting into Fanning, knocked away at Costanzo, and you can see they're double teaming him.
Yeah, as soon as that ball gets thrown in there, they're sending a double team at him. Costanzo doing a real good job pushing him away from the basket, out-muscling him a little bit, making him work for everything.
Fanning triple team, found room, and put it up and in. He is 19.
Yeah, he doesn't bring the ball down so the smaller guys can get at it.
Clark in and out. This is one of the tests Mark Fanning wanted to see. How do they handle the environment? How do they handle being on the road? Because that's what they're going to have to do in some of these playoff games.
Yeah, when they're struggling a little bit from the field, Old Forge doing a really good job executing the game plan, playing a really solid game.
Parker, no foul, but Fanning there again. .21 for Fanning. Back to a 9-point lead. Bad pass by Jimmy Clark.
Well, Old Forge's defense, the matchups got Dunmore confused and out of sorts. They're going to get Fanning an offensive foul. Yeah.
His third. That's a tough one underneath. I don't know. J.J. Thomas, yeah, he's about ready to explode, but his team's up. He's, I don't need to get any penalty. I don't need any technicals, right?
No.
Here you see it. I don't see it, but Vilas held in check since the first half. Got connect with that one. That's a big one. His first points of the second half. Again, Dunmore, they have the guys that can get back into it. I think it has to happen on the defensive side for them.
Yeah, now they're back to man-to-man now. And so you don't have to double Fanning if he's out that high. When he gets the ball down low, then you want to send a double at him.
Now, Old Forge has led in some games where they've let it slip away, and we saw one of them at Riverside. They have to hold on to this lead now. Under 6 to play.
And also, too, they have to keep their composure.
Fanning had positioning on Costanzo.
Costanzo was expecting weak side help, but he didn't get it. They isolated Fanning down low for the lob.
23 for Fanning. Matches his high for the season, and Mark Finan now says, what was that call?
Yeah, they got a carry on Vilas. He kind of cupped it on that drive.
Here comes the Blue Devils.
This low scoring helps Old Forge. It favors Old Forge.
Parker just going to pull it back out against the Vilas. Around Canavan and puts it up and in. Couple nice moves from the senior.
And how athletic was that? He got bumped. He thought he got fouled, but he finished it through contact.
11-point lead, largest of the night for either team. And this is the first team, two teams that went back and forth in that first half. The Vilas looking for a cutter, finds Clark. The Vilas wide open three. No good. No one there to rebound except Fanning, who averages 11.5 of those a game.
And you notice Dunmore now not getting the ball inside at all. They're always just looking to step back and shoot the threes. There's an old saying, if you live by the three, you die by the three.
And still, Canavan, their leading scorer, just 2 points in this game. Krasnowski back into the game with 4 fouls.
And you see Old Forge now deliberate on every possession. They'll probably do this for the last 4 minutes of the ball game. Make Dunmore play defense for long periods of time.
Old Forge says we just don't want to give you that last second shot again. So we're just going to take the biggest lead we can. Timeout on the floor will stay here.
I think they got a timeout before that turnover there.
Mark Finan not happy, but I think he's just aggravated a little bit the way his team is playing. So let's take a look at Old Forge. What they've gone through this season, and again, it's been kind of a roller coaster ride. They win, they lost to Holy Cross, lost to Riverside, Riverside twice in there. Pretty close though. Yeah. They were in all these games, so you're losing by 3 or 4 points a game.
And that's what they're talking about too. Okay, we've been in a lot of close games against a lot of good teams. We're a good team also. Now we got to try to figure out how to pull one out on our side, because they're unsuccessful in a lot of these close games against these better teams. Now they would like nothing more than to pull out a win tonight against a solid Dunmore team.
It'll be senior night right here at Al Cemenza Court on Friday. They'll meet in Mountain View from Division III. That's a makeup game from a snow out previous in the season, and then they'll get into district play, AA, top seed next Tuesday. So after the timeout,
yeah, Old Forge caught a break there because they had turned it over, but I think Coach Thomas was in the ear of Jack Gaffney over there getting the timeout before they turned it over.
Back out to Fanning. Salerno. Krasnowski with 4 fouls. Started by Clark. Dunmore doesn't have a foul, so they better start thinking about fouls too.
I see they're trapping all over the place.
Old Forge playing keep away and doing a nice job of it. Up 11, and there's a foul. We'll take a timeout. Jimmy Clark picks up the foul. 11-point advantage. Old Forge trying to pull off the upset here at home with 3:48 remaining in the game. We'll be right back.
You're watching Luzerne County Community College High School Hoops, presented by Bathfitter on MyTV WQMY.
Get started on your degree at Luzerne County Community College Scranton Center. Earn transferable credits, explore career programs, or take short-term classes, all right in downtown Scranton. With advising, tutoring, and career counseling, we'll help you succeed. Learn more at luzerne.edu. Can't thank the Luzerne County Community College enough for sponsoring not only Friday Night Rivals, but also high school hoops here on MyTV WQMY. We'll have one more game after this. It will be a district playoff game on the 20th. We'll talk more about that as the shot is up and Fanning is there.
Yeah, there was nobody inside except for the big fella, and that was an easy tip in there.
Aviles goes right through.
Well, if you're Dunmore now, you can't match. I got a timeout. Yeah. Coach Thomas got a timeout before all that stuff happened down there in the corner. Dunmore faithful don't like it.
Yeah, Dunmore is not liking it, whatever the call was. But again, on the road, they had a lot of their big games at home in the first half in Dunmore, and they were successful, except for that Riverside game. And then now you have to play tough road games. Now, for them, if they get into the district playoffs as the 2 seed, all their games will be at home until the finals at the arena.
Right. And that's a shooter's gym. You know, Dunmore, it's a great place to play basketball, and you see a lot of great shooters over the years, all the way back to the Mancuso, Bobby Mancuso, and JoJo Cantafio. And Bob, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that they played under Coach Doc Doherty, who passed away last week. Our condolences are with the Doherty family. Doc Doherty, a great teacher and a coach up there at Dunmore High School.
So the Bucks just one team foul. They got to maybe start getting some in the book, and they do out top. No one really in any foul trouble except Krasnowski on the Old Ford side. And this will go against Aviles, and that might be his third.
Now,
team's second.
They're one of their better foul shooters. DeMarco is not playing tonight, but you'll see the ball in the hands of Parker and Krasnowski because they're the best foul shooters.
Jimmy Clark just got tangled up with Arthur Askew. And Askew's played well with DeMarco on the bench tonight.
Now, if you're Dunmore, too, when they get to the bonus, they got 2 more to get to the bonus. If Fanning should touch the ball, you'd want to foul Fanning.
There is Fanning with the ball, and they foul before the shot. So it'll be underneath, and the team 4th foul.
Yeah, so now the next one will put him in the bonus. So if you're Old Fords, you want the ball in Parker's hands or Krasnowski's hands. Krasnowski shoots it at 83%. Parker shoots it at 76% from the line. They turned it over.
And there's a quick foul, kind of on the giveaway, and they're going to get Old Forge for the foul.
Yeah, they turned it over, and then a quick foul by Old Forge.
5 on Kranowski. He went for the ball with Canavan, so that brings Aversa back in.
Well, that's their best foul shooter now going to the bench, so this last 3 minutes, Bob, may take some time because we're going to see some foul shooting.
I think so, and now if you have a sophomore in there, he touches the ball, you're fouling him.
Yeah.
But so Dunmore's got to make some shots here. Willis thought about it. Backing down, turn around, that would have counted, and they're going to get Aviles to go to the line to shoot 2. And Aversa gets the foul.
Yeah, just what you wanted to get to the foul line. You see that you had to respect the jumper. And then they're going to get a reach in there by Aversa.
1 for 2 on the night from the free throw line. 3 for 4 before that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see now if Dunmore fouls immediately or if they wait till it comes over the timeline and then fouls. But you're going to see sooner or later they're going to commit a foul. That's the guy you want to foul right there. And that's the guy you don't want to foul.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't foul Fanning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they should do. Every time Fanning touches it, they should foul. Now, he's having a great night. Even a poor foul shooter. Not that he's a poor foul shooter. He's mediocre. But when you're having a night like this, sometimes you make them.
2 for 2 on the night is Parker. Hits that one. He has 20 points. I have 25 for Fanning.
Now, this guy, Parker, quietly goes about his business, and he's one of the best players in all of District 2, and he's kind of under the radar.
1 for 2 on that. It's an opportunity for Dunmore if they hit a 3 to cut into the lead, and they're going to foul by an Askew on the outside. And now that will be the Forge's fourth foul.
Yeah, so now after this, everybody's shooting fouls.
In the corner, slow to Canavan. Now hasn't hit anything tonight and can't hit that one. Clark goes flying, no foul. Back over to Parker.
How smartly they.
No foul. Still the ball into Canavan's hand. To Aviles against Fanning. Gets it to go.
Great job.
Timeout. Dunmore within 8 now.
Great job by Aviles. He knew that Fanning was coming, and he hung in the air and banked it in with his left hand. Boy, very impressive.
22 for Aviles. He had 23 twice this year, and that's without Canavan not scoring hardly anything. Just 2 points for Dunmore's leading scorer, and there you see it again, Aviles.
Yeah, he knew Fanning was there, and he was afraid he was going to block it, but he hung in the air and banked it in with his left hand.
So within 8, it's reachable with 2:15 left.
It is reachable because of the best foul shooter, Krasnowski, on the bench. Now they can run the baseline. Again, interesting to see if Dunmore will foul quickly or wait till it comes over the timeline.
And there you foul the sophomore. That's why. I think that's what we talked about.
Yeah. Aiden Aversa in the limelight. He's the future at point.
Only played in 8 games. 2 for 4 on the season.
Confidently knocks the first one down.
Yeah, that's a big one, too.
And the other thing, too, about it used to be 1-on-1, Bob. Now it's a 2-shot foul. A little less pressure on you when it's a 2-shot foul. Aversa makes both.
Well, they're 2 big ones under pressure. So it's back to a 10-point game. Aviles trying to get a foul. Parker comes down with it. He's hung up. And it's going to stay here with Dunmore.
Yeah, he just lost his footing, Parker did, when he came down.
Now, he injured his ankle a few games ago. He's wearing a brace on it, left ankle.
Yeah. He thought maybe he should go to the foul line on that, but there was no contact there.
In the Canavan. Against Fanning with the left hand, still can't get anything to go, and does not get the call.
You see the frustration on his face. He can't throw the ball in the ocean tonight.
Back to Aversa. Thrown away by Clark. Goes in for the easy 2. Timeout.
Yeah. Still not over. Dunmore doing what they need to do. Solid defense, double teaming out on top. Come up with a steal and an easy one. Not too many easy baskets for Dunmore as they normally get.
So this is our last regular season game. Next up we have playoffs. District 2. Could be 4A, could be 5A. Not sure yet. This depends on the matchup on the night. And that'll be a District 2 semifinal. Doug and I will be on the call Friday, February 20th. So the timeout on the floor.
They can run the baseline again now after the make.
Back to an 8-point game. We didn't get a score on Riverside, but they're playing Western Wayne, so there shouldn't be any problem with that. So we're going to assume Riverside won. I'll keep checking the scoreboard. But Dunmore just trying to match them. But right now, doesn't look good. They're down 8.
Well, they got a big fella, Canavan, on the ball, so it'll be tough to throw it deep.
They had Fanning, and over the top comes Costanzo. Knocks it out of bounds. Again, they had Fanning.
Well, the thing with the Old Forge is you need to get Fanning the ball because he's so big. It's easier to get it into him, but you got to be careful that they don't foul him.
Back to Aversa in the backcourt. Coming up on the 10. Got to watch. Take it away. Up to Canavan. No. Fanning reaches out with his 6'5" frame. Knocks it away. Or Canavan will have the easy layup. Foul on Dunmore, and Mark Finan now making his complaint known.
I think he thought that they may have held this guy so he couldn't go retrieve that ball. Again, the young fellow Aversa on the line to shoot 2. He can 2 before.
So Aversa goes to the line. He's already made 2, and the sophomore, who was 2 for 4 coming in, is perfect.
He's got a confidence about him for a young guy. We saw him in the previous game. He threw some excellent passes, too, found his teammates.
Slowed in the corner. No good. Dunmore not shooting that percentage they've been all year from threes. To Salerno, back to Carter. There's Cam in the Fanning. Knocked from behind, but gets his rebound. I ask you. Slowed, corner, no good. Foul. Foul on Parker?
I think they're going to get Canavan fouled.
Oh, Canavan, okay.
Yeah, foul on Canavan, so they're going to go down here and shoot 2 more. I think Askew's going to get 2.
So Canavan fouls out. Scored only 2 points in the game. Now we'll bring in Frannon. And Askew, yes, goes to the line. And give credit to Old Forge. They have the district wrapped up. They know they're the top seed.
Yeah.
What do they have to play for? They were motivated. They did not like the way they lost that game at Dunmore. And this is a big win for them.
Well, they did a nice job frustrating Braden Canavan all night long into fouling out.
Up 12. So Riverside will win the Division II title. Nice shot, Jimmy Clark downtown.
Yep. Still got life. There's no quitting this Dunmore Buck team. Notice they keep getting the ball into Parker's hands. Smart.
About to steal, but instead the foul. Going to go against Jimmy Clark. And his 4th. This puts Cam Parker on the line. I have for 20. 3 for 4 on the night from the charity stripe.
Yeah, he's a cool customer. Does everything well. There's no weaknesses in his game. He defends, he rebounds, he has a pull-up jumper, he drives it to the basket, he can shoot the 3. He's solid.
If you're an opponent, you know you have to stop Parker and Fanning.
Yeah.
But yeah,
easier said than done.
That's exactly right, right? That's exactly it.
Yep.
It is easier said than done. Well, they've put in 80% of the points tonight, maybe even 90. Aviles finds a room, he puts it up and in. Time still runs, still a 10-point game. There you foul Fanning. Now you put him on the line with 25. And he's 1 foul shot on the evening. He's made that, 1 for 2 on the line tonight. But coming in just 59%.
As I said before, sometimes when you have games like this that he's having, you do pretty well at the line. Oh.
Still life for Dunmore, down 10, 27 seconds left.
You can see Fanning doesn't want to think about it. He just wants to get it and shoot it. Don't worry about it. Hey, you'll take that 1 out of 2. You don't mind that.
Nope. So Velix will now go to the line. He's been one of the bright spots for the Bucks tonight.
Yeah, that's about the 3rd or 4th time he's initiated the contact, and the 2nd time he got the call.
That's Fanning 4th foul. So without the clock running, Velix can't take advantage of it.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Dunmore, but you got to credit Old Forge. Man, this may be their, I don't want to say their worst game of the year, but they certainly are subpar. Yeah, they're going to call it off. Yep. It was disappointing for Dunmore, but.
So it was a last-second shot that kept Old Forge from going to overtime with Dunmore at the Bucks. Fanning dunks it in. Revenge feels sweet. Old Forge with their biggest win of the year. With 2 seconds left, they stopped the clock.
We got a technical on Fanning for hanging on the rim.
On the rim.
Yeah.
Technical foul, as you said. So Dunmore's fans are filing out, but the refs have to stop it, and then Dunmore has to bring it in.
And that's his 5th, I believe. Fanning's 5th.
That is 5th. Yep. He had 17 at the break and 16 in the second half.
Yeah, you can't hang that long.
$13 at the break, excuse me. And 16 in the second half for 29. Sloat hits him. Dunmore just has to inbound it, and that should just about do it. Old Forge going to pull off the major upset. Riverside wins Lackawanna League Division II. There'll be no playoff, but these teams now get ready for the District 2 playoffs. The final score, Old Forge 70, Dunmore 60. It's the 15th win of the year for the Blue Devils. Dunmore drops to 19-3. When Doug and I come back, well, the players of the game on the floor and wrap things up here in the pizza capital of the world. Check 1, 2, check 1. So it's a signature win for Old Forge. They beat Dunmore tonight 70-60 as Riverside will take the Lackawanna League Division II title. It keeps the Bucks from a playoff spot, and a big win for you, Logan. How motivated was this team, especially after the way you lost at Dunmore?
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker up at their place, but today we came in so hungry. We wanted this game so bad. We knew what we had to do. We had to go out there. We had to play our game. We had to play together, and that's what we did, and we got it done.
Doug talked about getting you under control and going early, and they did here. What did you feel after you got things going in the first quarter?
I felt real confident. I knew, once I get going, they're going to converge on me. We're going to have a lot of defenders on me. I could kick out to my shooters out on the outside, and we're just going to have easy offense.
Okay, and you guys now head to the district playoffs, defending champs. What do you expect from your team there?
We're going to keep up the same momentum. This is great momentum for us going into the district right at the end of the league season. We're looking to go really far. We want to win the district, and we want to go make a state run.
Okay, you had half the points. The other guy that had half the points is Cam Parker. Let's bring him in. You guys switch. And Cam, talk to me about this game. Dunmore's not easy. What was the difference, do you think?
There was a lot of talk between both schools. We really wanted this win. This just proves that we can play with any team. We knew we could play with any team, but this game really proves it. The last game was a heartbreaker. We hated how the way it ended, but this is a statement game, and we're glad to be back.
Yeah, this is kind of a signature win. I mentioned that because you had some big games. You lost to Riverside a couple. You were close in this one. You're close in Dunmore. You're close against Holy Cross. But finally, you pull this one out. So how did you do that tonight? What was the difference, you think?
We never gave up on each other. We had one guy down, but we knew it was one guy. Another guy off the bench had to step up. That's what we did. We played together like we always do, played good defense. We knew our offense was going to flow either way, and we got the W.
Okay, District 2 playoffs, defending champs. What do you want to see from your team?
Keep this momentum. We have a lot of confidence in each other, and we're going to keep that flowing through the playoffs, not only districts but also states, and we wanted to make a state run.
Okay, absolutely. You guys made a state run last year. Maybe you do it again. Thank you. I'm going to bring Doug in. Congratulations. Good luck in districts. And Doug, yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat if they play like this tonight.
They're a tough out, absolutely. If you have a big fella, which they do, a very good player in Logan. Parker is outstanding, and the supporting cast is great, well coached. They made a deep run last year. They felt like they could have made it all the way. They're gonna be a tough out.
And for Dunmore, again, they're probably gonna be the 2 seed, District 2 3A playoffs. I know they're disappointed they don't get to play for that division championship, but they should be motivated. And, but they're gonna have some tough games too.
Well, this is the best team Dunmore's had in a long time. No disrespect to the former players at Dunmore, but these guys play well together. They know how to play. They anticipate well. They're not done yet. I don't think.
But were they exposed?
Well, you need a little bit of a post presence, and it's the old adage: if you live by the 3, you die by the 3. Now tonight they just had and give credit to Old Forge. They took them out of their game plan a little bit, but on a bad shooting night, you're going to have a problem unless you can find other ways to score.
Okay, playoffs right around the corner for both of these teams and all the teams that qualified in District 2 and really around the area, so good luck to all of them. Doug and I will be back February 20th. That's a Friday night. We'll have a District 2 playoffs, 4A or 5A, whatever the best matchup is right there. It'll be a semifinal game, and those two teams, one of those teams will head to the arena to play for a district title. So we'll wrap things up here for the award-winning crew from Fox 56 Sports. For Doug Walsh, this is Bob Ide saying so long from the pizza capital of the world as Old Forge pulls off the upset over Dunmore.